The motto, Seva Asmakam Dharma. Service is our creed. These hallowed words enshrine the noble ethos that the brave and valiant soldiers of the Army Service Corps have lived up to during the course of their checkered history spanning 2.5 centuries. The hardy muleteer, the resilient mechanical transport driver, and the dedicated supply man are the three towering figures on whom the edifice of the Corps is built. I would gladly exchange all these trophies and the reputation of victory for a few days' price, said Sir Eyre Coote, Commander-in-Chief of India, in 1759. With these words, the Army Service Corps began its journey in 1760 as the Commissariat in the East India Company's 3 presidencies of Bengal, Madras and Bombay. In 1810, they became Commissariat departments who provided their respective armies with requirements of food, transport and horses through contractors. The new organization was rechristened as the Supply and Transport Corps in 1901. During the First World War, the Supply and Transport Corps saw action in overseas campaigns as an integral part of the British Expeditionary Force in France, Egypt, East Africa and Mesopotamia. The Corps was renamed as Indian Army Service Corps in 1923. The excellent performance of the Corps earned it the prefix Royal in 1935, and it thus came to be known as the Royal Indian Army Service Corps. The Second World War introduced many changes in the organization of the Corps, which increased its strength and expanded the area of activities. In order to fulfill this role, different types of units were raised. They also supported the operations of Navy and Air Force. The Corps also became airborne to supply the troops fighting in the jungles of Burma. Pre-independence, the Corps personnel were awarded 4 Distinguished Service Orders, 25 Military Crosses, 67 Medal Militaire, 4 Indian Orders of Merit and 34 Indian Distinguished Service Medals. On 26 January 1950, when India became a republic, the Corps dropped the prefix Royal and became the Army Service Corps. On 8 December 1950, the President of India accorded sanction to the Corps to use the national emblem in the ASC badge. On 8 December 1952, the first Corps Day was celebrated and continues to be celebrated on the same day. On 8 December 1967, Dr. Zakir Hussain, the then President of India, presented the colours to the Corps at ASC Centre, Bangalore, and the first ASC reunion was held. The colours are symbolic and embody the spirit of the people who fight under them. The colours are, in fact, proud history told in silk. They are held in great veneration and are a source of inspiration. On 8th December 1979, the second colours were presented on the occasion of the 3rd reunion by General O.P. Malhotra, the then Chief of the Army Staff. Since its modest beginning during the days of the East India Company, the Corps has participated in a number of campaigns fought over 3 continents. Post-independence, ASC took part in Jammu and Kashmir operations in 1948, the Chinese aggression of 1962, and Indo-Pak conflicts of 1965 and 1971. The performance of the Corps during these wars was of an exceptionally high order. Army Service Corps has been an integral part of formations engaged in counter-insurgency operations in Jammu and Kashmir and northeastern states, providing integral logistic support. As part of Indian peacekeeping force in Sri Lanka, the valiant men of the Corps braved the loss of life and limb in accomplishing their challenging tasks of conveying troops, ammunition, supplies, FOL and stores to the forward positions through militant-infested areas. In the winter of 1999, Pakistan intruded and occupied some of the desolate but strategic heights in Kargil. The situation warranted extraordinary display of valor. ASC officers on attachment with infantry rose to the occasion in a befitting manner. They led their troops from the front, often against insurmountable odds and formidable opposition, displaying bravery and valor of an exceptionally high order. Captain Nekes Hakuo Kengruse was awarded the Mahavir Chakra posthumously for the conspicuous act of bravery displayed. The saga of fearlessness and gallantry displayed by them will serve as a beacon through the ages for generations to follow. The Indian Army is deployed across the length and breadth of the country. Sustenance of Army is largely dependent on second and third line transport provided by ASC. The mechanical transport drivers have been silently rendering yeoman service with their machines, toiling day and night to transport men and material to the required destination. This transport plies relentlessly through mountains, deserts, jungles, and insurgency-infested areas. One of the most critical tasks of ASC is to carry out advanced winter and monsoon stocking in areas which remain inaccessible for a large part of the year due to incessant rainfall or heavy snow. Majority of the third-line mechanical transport units are employed for stocking in treacherous mountainous and high-altitude areas. Tank transporters held by ASC are vital to ensure speedy deployment and economy of precious track mileage of the armored fighting vehicles. Animal transport was the only means of transportation available until 1915. Even today, it is the key facilitator in maintenance of high morale of our soldiers deployed in forward locations in mountains. It provides them food, water and operational stores, which includes guns and ammunition right up to their defended locality. The supply branch ensures that every soldier gets 3 nutritious meals a day, be it peace or war. This reiterates Napoleon's famous quote, "Army marches on its stomach." Supply branch also handles FOL, air maintenance, ammunition, catering, and food inspection. The onerous task of providing FOL to the Army is similar to the way supplies are handled. The Indian Army has a gigantic mechanical transport fleet, both in terms of inventory and numbers. The clerks are trained and provided by the Corps. 1st May 1999 was a historic day when the Alma Mater embodied its new, larger incarnation as the ASC Centre and College at Bangalore. Main components of erstwhile ASC School became the Faculty of Logistics, and the Army School of Mechanical Transport became the Faculty of Transport Management. A young recruit who joins the centre is transformed into a trained soldier.
भारत माता की जय।
With 25 decades of glorious history, the Corps has become a veritable treasure trove of rich heraldry and ethos. The ASC Centre and College has created a museum that is an essential repository of traditions and heritage. 3 resolute figures stand stoic and steadfast. The enduring muleteer, the tough mechanical transport driver, and the reliable supply man, who have dedicated their life to the Indian Army as the silent warrior.